are very welcome to Health Pot. I'm so grateful, and as Church of Uganda Family TV, we are grateful that you have chose Health Pot at this particular time. Edrine Osteen Mukalazi is my name. Just to remind you, Health Pot is a program that is centered around maternal and child health, early childhood development, and other public health concerns. Now, when we talk about public health concerns, there are many. You can never exhaust them. But the reason we have this program is to help you understand them, some of which are avoidable. So, in other words, we show you the problem and we show you how you can deal with it or how you can prevent it. Now, like we had last time on our show, a team from Makerere University Environmental Health Students Association, MUEHSA. So Makerere University Environment. I don't want people to handcuff me after the show. I want to speak things right. So it is Makerere University Environmental Health Students Association, and we are delighted that we have another amazing team. Wow! And what are we discussing? We are discussing a very pertinent issue. When we talk about water, when we talk about sanitation, when we talk about hygiene, wow, you don't need to go anywhere. Just sit where you are. Please, you can even get a cup of tea or a glass of water or juice as we discuss this topic. But before we get into the topic, we have amazing guests with us. One, of course, last time I had issues with Doreen, and now I want to be so careful with ladies first slogan. Now we have Emily Luyiga. I'm already messing up things. But I will have Emily Luyiga, who is one of the members of the association, the Environmental Health Students Association, Makerere University. And we had Shafik last time, who is the president of Makerere University Environmental Health Students Association. Shafik is back with us. He's not new if you watched last time, but if you're watching for the first time, he's new to you. He's the president, His Excellency. So we are seated with the man himself now. Emily, we are so delighted to have you. Please kindly greet our viewers, and then we shall get into the discussion later.
Hello everyone, my name is Emily Luyiga. I'm a student at the School of Public Health doing a bachelor's in environmental health science. I'm delighted to be here, and thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. We hope this discussion is as informative as possible, and it will create a positive impact on the way you treat yourself, on the way you live, and the way you handle the topic that we're going to discuss today. Thank you.
Wow. Shafik, His Excellency, when we see the president, you can submit your requests. So, His Excellency, is it okay if they also give me a t-shirt so that I am smart like you?
Wow, so actually I'm going to send that requisition to my finance, and the next program we shall be having, you might get one.
Okay. Yeah. Cheers. So celebrate with me. Shafik, kindly greet our viewers, and then we get into this discussion.
Hello, I send my regards as the Makerere University President, School of Environmental Health Association. My name is Senkubuge Shafik, and I'm delighted to be here once again for this wonderful program, the Health Pot. Remember, the program actually, we are here just because of the Makerere University School of Public Health and the Family TV partnership.
Exactly.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Edrine Mukalazi, for hosting us.
Wow. Now we are discussing something that is so serious and pertinent. We are discussing things to do with water, sanitation, and hygiene. And when we talk about water, we have, like, we've seen very many reports about how people are struggling to access clean water. Now, out of this show, we shall also get to know what clean water is. Or is the water you're using at your home clean or suitable for use? We shall all get answers out of this program. But to start with, we talk about water as a resource and as a basic need. So I want you to talk about water, because there is a slogan, some of us who go through Bwaise, they say water is life when you don't stay in Bwaise. I don't know whether these days, because the likes of Banda and other places, Namasuba have also started flooding. So I think Bwaise is no longer limited to Bwaise. But let us get to water as a resource. Talk about water as a resource and as a basic need.
Wow, thank you. Yeah, when you're talking about water, actually water is very important. As earlier Loni highlighted, water is life. And for real, if we are unable to realize that water is a resource, we can't use it effectively. Water is a renewable resource that is used in a number of activities, starting from our homesteads. We use it for a number of activities, the likes of preparing our food, bathing, cleaning our homes, and other activities goes into, when you go to factories, it's used as a raw material for processing. So really water is an important resource and we shouldn't take it for granted. So we should take up measures to ensure that really water that we collect at our collection points, we ensure that it's safe. The delivery tools that we are using during its collection, are they really not contaminating this water? When it comes to the reception point, the collection points, the storage points, is it really safe? Are we not exposing it to contamination so that we preserve this essential resource? And really the number of sources of water within our communities. The major source of water, all of us we know, it's rain. Recently at the start of the year, I realized that people were actually saying that the sun is too much. So really,
and then out of the blue, boom, rain serves them.
Yeah. So really, water is an important resource, and it's good. One of the main sources is rain, as we earlier highlighted. But we're having other sources, the likes of boreholes that are governments actually advocating constructing boreholes, even in Kalamoja, even in other areas that are semi-arid. So really, water, we can get it within Kampala. Actually, for us, at least we are a little bit safe, I won't say safe, but we have got an improved supply system. We are supplied by National Water and Sewage Corporation. It links almost each and every homestead. I don't know whether Edrine, your home is supplied with. So really,
I go through Buais, so I'm not so sure of which.
So really, water is an important resource. And if I'm to mention good things about water, we might even spend an entire day. So I hand over to you, Edrine.
Now, as other things I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about our sources of water. Arabua, Seka, Wempe, those areas. So I don't want to talk about the sources of water. Anyway, Emily, we get to you. Three things I highlighted out of what he said. One was safe water. Two, clean water. But then he was talking about contamination. Now, what are some of the sources of contamination? How does our water get contaminated?
Thank you.
Because if it is in the rain, it is natural. Then how does it get contaminated to make me sick?
Thank you very much for the question. Yes, rainwater is natural, it's clean, but here on Earth, we have very many buildings, we have very many people in the environment, we have houses. So basically, when as the water falls from the sky, it is clean and it is not safe to drink, but it is not dirty. But when it lands on Earth, then it lands on our dirty roads, it lands on our roofs. All those places, all those catchment areas have germs, have dirt. You've seen Kampala, it's very dusty. So when all that dust rises, it settles in our gutters, the ones that collect the water. That's why rainwater as it is, as a whole, is not safe to drink, because you're going to collect it in a gutter, the gutters are dirty, you already clean them and you're going to put it in a tank, then the tank, it will settle and more germs will keep infusing in the water. That's why rainwater as a whole is not safe to drink.
But before we leave that point, there is something I used to see my grandmother do. When it rains, so she says, first let that water flow off the gutters, and then she tells you to collect the, I think after like 5 or 10 minutes, then that is when you start collecting this water.
Yes.
Is that a safe measure?
It is, because at some point, to some extent, because when the first water comes, there is a lot of dust and everything, and all these dead animals have looked into the gutters. So as the water flows out first, it tries to clean the gutters still. But to some extent, there are some microorganisms that will still be in the water as it is collected and settles in a tank. That's why rainwater as a whole is not really advisable to drink. Yes.
Now we get to the other sources of contamination.
See, I'll give an example in Kampala, where I grew up. Those around Nansana, around Kawala, Kasubi. See, Kampala residents have a habit whenever I train, they usually release all waste from like the toilets.
Do they do that in Nansen as well?
They used to.
They used to.
They
Okay.
used to.
I know you have to say they used to.
But yeah, they would release all the water.
Yeah.
So rainwater just carries everything downhill, so the water settles in the valleys, it settles in the wells. So that's how water from the environment gets contaminated. So when you go to the well to collect water, the water looks clean. I mean, it looks clean. There are no germs. In your opinion, there are no germs. Because the germs are microscopic, you can't see them using your eyes. So when you collect that water and then you go and just drink it anyhow, use it to cook food, the germs will still be there and they'll infect you and make you sick.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I think you need to do some sense. You know, I talk this not as a sadist, but there is a place called Inkere. I don't know if you've heard about that place. Around Zambia, between Zambia and Machinje, there is that slum. I think you need to do some sensitization in that place. I grew up in the neighborhood, so I know what happens. I grew up to a place next to Nkere. The place is called Nkere. Yeah, I think you can do something about that, because what she talked about is really common in that area. Now, we are taking a short commercial break, and when we come back, we now want to see the diseases that are associated with water that is contaminated, because you might say, after all, mitima jakaluba. I mean, mitima jakaluba, you'll fall sick. And which diseases are you subjected to if you do not safeguard your water? But also, how can you prevent yourself from getting these diseases? HealthPort is your #1 health program. What do we do here? We bring you the problem, but we don't only talk about the problem. We give you the solutions as well. But some of these solutions are preventive solutions, and it is the reason we are the #1 health show. This program is centered around, 1, maternal and child health, but we also look at early childhood development, and then other public health concerns like what we are talking about today: water, sanitation, and hygiene. Now, this program is brought to you by Makerere University School of Public Health, and today we have the one Emily Luyiga and Shafik Senkubuge, the president of Makerere University Environmental Health Students Association, and we are discussing issues to do with water. Now, Emily, I'll still get to you since you're the one who initiated the sources of contamination. Now, also tell us about the diseases that are related to this contaminated water. What risks am I at if I take contaminated water?
Yes. Thank you so much, Edrine. Basically, there are 4 types of water-related diseases. The first type is the waterborne diseases. These are diseases that you get when you ingest or take water that has germs, that has disease-causing agents, or when you ingest food that is prepared using contaminated water. Yeah. So you've had people say, oh my God, I have typhoid,
Yes.
I have dysentery, I'm getting diarrhea, I have this and this and this. It means that these people ingested water that was contaminated with all these disease-causing germs. There are germs I would give, for example, typhoid. It's caused by a Salmonella typhi. That's the germ. Yeah, so when you take water that has this germ, it will go into your body and make you sick. We as Kampala residents or dwellers like street food a lot. Yeah, but we don't know what water these vendors are using to prepare the juice we take. We don't know what they're using to wash the fruits that we take. So we as individuals need to take caution and make sure that we take healthy food, make sure that we take food that is not contaminated. Because ideally, you may want to buy something cheap. I want juice that's 1K, I can't afford packaged juice or water. But
even 500, they pack it in a mineral water bottle and they sell it at 500.
Yes, but you're going to make yourself sick and you're going to end up spending more money in the hospital, yet you could have prevented it by just taking water that is safe, considered to be more safe. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So
you talked about that is one type.
Yeah, that's one type.
The waterborne
Then
disease.
another type is water scarce diseases. These are diseases that an individual gets due to access to equitable water or clean water, or water that's there but it's not enough in the amounts that they need it. So it affects your personal hygiene. So you end up showering less, or not washing your clothes enough, or just ideally being dirty. And when germs dwell on your body, you're more likely to get sick.
I was about to say Kubaonyao. I think you're speaking to some men. I don't want to say men, but okay, out there.
You're trying to be
It's interesting how individuals do not like to shower. Like water is available, so shower as much as you can. It keeps you healthy, but it also helps other people around you, because we sit in taxis, we interact with very many people. You sit in a bus, and people even go to work when they've not showered. They're not keeping themselves clean. You're only making yourself very susceptible to getting such diseases.
Okay.
Yeah, you can get scabies, you can get ringworm. It's very embarrassing to see a grown-up man with ringworm, scabies. Like those. Ideally, as a grown-up, you should know how to take care of yourself. You should have good personal hygiene and be in good health condition. Yes, that's the second type. Yeah.
Now the third.
The third type is water vector diseases. These are water-related diseases that whose vectors require water as a medium. They need it to lay eggs. They need it to provide nutrients to their eggs as they're grown. So, I'll give an example of malaria. Yes, we all, maybe not all of us, but when government is issuing out mosquito nets, or when the cases of malaria have gone up, the government encourages you to slash. They encourage you to clear all bushes around you, to remove stagnant water. So what they're trying to remove is they're removing all the breeding areas for such diseases. Yeah, so that when these vectors come, they don't have where to breed.
Okay.
Yeah, and if they don't, it means the numbers will not increase. It means you will not get malaria. Okay. Yes.
Now the last one.
Yeah, the last one is water-based diseases.
Water-based.
Yeah. Yeah, these are diseases of someone can say the diseases of lifestyle. Yes.
Diseases of the lifestyle.
Yeah, diseases of what, like things we do for leisure, like swimming. We not all of us know how to swim, but if we go to the beach, we like to dip our toes in the water, enjoy the sand. Yes, ideally that would be okay, but our water sources are not safe. I'll give you an example for people living around water sources, maybe like Lake Victoria, for example. These people, if they don't have good latrines, if they don't have places where they're going to throw their excreta, all this, and if they do open defecation, if they do and go and shower in the lake, go and shower. We've seen people in Entebbe taking a shower in the lake. The water is safe, it's plenty, why shouldn't I shower? But these are the problems. You're going to disperse all these disease-causing organisms into the lake, and when someone else in maybe KK Beach or wherever they're going to swim, they're going to swim in that water, and that water is already contaminated. So these organisms are going to penetrate into your body, and you're going to get sick. That's how people get bilharzia. Yeah.
Okay, now Shafik, I come to you. She has talked about a lot, and when you look at, I know there's someone out there who is starting to check themselves, and they're like, maybe I suffered from this because of this and this, or maybe I have this because of this. Now, how can we help our communities prevent some of these diseases that are preventable, that she has just talked about?
Wow. Actually, our discussion and our views were very, very informative. Let me hope everyone that noted or took something, one or two from our speech. When we talk about prevention of water-related diseases, it's really a pertinent issue, and this will start from our homes. I'll take an example. Really, when you look at communities, villages, really we want to come up with water user committees at these different water sources, the likes of the springs. I don't know whether those different springs we're having, the wells. These water user committees are usually led by women, because these are the people who usually stay at home. Fathers go to fend for a living here and there, but the mothers play a key role in ensuring that this water is safe, and people who come to draw water from the water sources do not contaminate these water sources. So it's very key that the local authorities come up with these user committees at each and every water source. There are any other interventions. There are some interventions that we can do for the 4 categories of diseases she mentioned about. When you look at the water vector-borne diseases, really the likes of malaria. Malaria has been endemic in Uganda. It's one of the diseases that are really perturbing the Ministry of Health and other surveillance network systems. So for real, as individuals within Uganda, we should take caution on eliminating the breeding sites of these vectors. You can remove all stagnated water. You can oil the waters. You can plant lemon grasses around your home. They can prevent these mosquitoes from reaching your residences. Then sleep under mosquito nets. You're provided with mosquito nets at least after some period of time by the Ministry of Health. So never, if pregnant women, usually those are people actually that are more prone to getting some of malaria infections. So sleep under mosquito nets is very key for for the baby and you yourself as the mother, because every life counts for real. So the other diseases like schistosomiasis you mentioned about, the so-called bilharzia. I don't know whether you heard about bilharzia in your primary school.
Yeah. So
that disease really, it's actually a very serious disease, and if we do not take interventions, we don't regulate the way how we use these water, swimming places, swimming pools. At least swimming pools, the concerned authorities tend to clean this water regularly. But for lakes, the likes of the beaches at Lake Victoria, these waters are contaminated by sacarias and the infective agents of the bilharzia. So really, we have to take caution before you swim. You ask yourself, is this water safe really? The water I'm going to swim in, is it safe? So those are the questions we should ask ourselves. Then the other thing is, before you take any water, is the water, does it match with the standards? You can even cross-check the water that is packed. At times, you don't know that the safety of the water. You might buy bottled water, but you don't know, really, is this water matching with the standards? Is it satisfied by UNBS? Does it have a UNBS stamp? Those are the questions you should ask yourself. Then at home, the way we keep our water to prevent it from contamination, this should begin with the primary basis is boiling the water. Even if you have collected it from the spring, try to boil the water at least for some good minutes before you drink it, and then store it in safe places that will not render it for contamination. The receptacles we use for collection, at times even the receptacles, you can keep your water safely, but when it comes to collection, you make the matters worse. Use something that is contaminated. The hands should be clean before you collect this water. Those people who use pots for collection of water, it's a tradition in Uganda. We know that really pot water tastes sweeter. I think it's true. Yeah. So really we should keep caution when trying to mitigate some of these diseases that are related to water, because water is very important. It's something that is really key. Yes, thank you, Mukalazi, Mr. Mukalazi.
Yeah, we are so grateful. Now, Emily, before we close this discussion, what are your parting shots when it comes to water, sanitation, and hygiene?
My what?
Your parting shots, your last remark. My
last remarks. I believe that these diseases are preventable, first of all, once the people know what to do. You as an individual, you make a choice whether to go for that drink on the street or to buy something that is more safe. You choose whether to use to help yourself, to ease yourself in a latrine or a toilet, or to go and urinate on the street or ease yourself somewhere on the street. This is an individual choice. So we are supposed to keep our communities clean. We're supposed to keep, as you're doing it, because you may say, oh, I don't stay here, so even if I do it here, it's okay. But ideally, you're going to live remember, in this community, there are kids, there are children. So when it trains all these things that you have left in the community, they're going to go into their water bodies. So if you're not minding about yourself, if you're not cautious about yourself, think about the community, why you're defecating or why you're urinating. And there are very many places of convenience these days. There are total stations. Every petrol station has a latrine or toilet. So in case you're traveling, you're in transit, and you need a place to ease yourself, just go to a nearby petrol station somewhere. Yeah,
thank you so much. Now, Shafik, your last remark as we close down this discussion.
Wow, it has been really a wonderful interaction all the way from where we started. I think everyone who has been there out, you have learned something new. So at this point in time, I would like to inform you that as Makerere University's Environmental Health Students Association, we're organizing the 18th Makerere University Environmental Health Students Association conference that will take place on the 27th and 28th of April. So endeavor to take part. We shall discuss, and different researchers will come on board to present pertinent issues in relation to health. We do not limit any stakeholder that can take part. For real, this is a one-time venture that will bring different stakeholders, both nationally and internationally, students from across the world, present their views on health. So I take this opportunity to thank the Makerere University School of Public Health and the Family TV Partnership. And I greet all the beloved members of Makerere University Environmental Health Students Association. Thank you. Thank
you so much, Shafik. Thank you so much, Emily. Bless you who has been watching this program. May the Almighty God bless you. We meet again next time.